I haven't painted yet because I'm moving out in like 3 months or something like that. So that'll be the time to there's a couple spots that need touching up. There was one point where I was trying to mount my Ethernet cable so that it was like, and it is, to be fair, the Ethernet cable runs out of this office, like down a hallway, down a staircase, and it's attached to the wall in this little strip that keeps it nice and clean. But I got filled with a rage while I was mounting it at one point. Let's just leave it at that. And I decided, fuck all this shit. I started ripping it all off the wall. But the conduit has a sticky side, the conduit that holds the Ethernet, and that sticky side grabbed the paint on the wall and ripped it off the wall in a strip about 1.5 feet long. And so that's still there with like the paint ripped off.
Now you got to get swatches and figure out.
Oh no, when you rent a place, there's a bucket of paint under the. I'll go grab the paint they left here. But I'll say this: as shitty as this fucking people I rent from are, and they are scum. I won't say who they are, but they're scum. Awful to deal with. There's no way to actually get a guy who can do a thing. They're all just fucking bots, NPCs. When you call that fucking phone number, you could be like, "You listen to me, ma'am. You don't even understand. We're going on NBC tonight to talk about what you people have done to me." She'd be like, "Fucking go for it, bro. You think I care? I don't even know who you are. You don't know my real name. I'm the fucking Lizard King." Like, they don't care. You can't threaten them. You can't be like, "Hey, can we come to a mutual agreement here? Can we negotiate? Can you understand that I don't have air conditioning and it's 80 degrees? Well, it has to be 88 before we consider it an emergency." You'll get that kind of shit out of them.
Yeah.
But my last place, man, I was moving my stuff out by myself, and I've talked about this before. I don't know why I took it upon myself to do all the moving by myself. When I looked at it and I looked at all my belongings and the U-Haul truck, I was like, 12 hours of me hustling. I knocked that the fuck out. I hustle because when I work. Like, I don't stop. Dude, it was 3 days of hustling and just dripping sweat. And I got done, and it's like, man, I got to get down the road. It's midnight, 1 a.m, and I still got to unpack this shit at my new place. And there was so much left to do. I didn't leave trash. I didn't leave garbage, but I did not patch the holes in the wall from all the electronics I'd mounted throughout the home. And little things were broken, like the toilet paper holder and like the guest bathrooms knocked off the fucking thing because it was a piece of shit to begin with, and like little things here and there.
Standard.
Dude,
I thought also we're missing a kitchen drawer. We're also missing several.
It's not there.
But that's not normal.
There's just a hole. You can see the tracks.
I've been on this planet for 50 years and I've never lost a kitchen drawer.
Well, I know where it is.
Did you shatter it?
I know.
Asunder?
I broke. I pulled the drawer out and it broke or something. It just fell apart.
Were you grouchy? Were you Blue Kyle?
No. I really wasn't. I don't remember exactly how it broke, but it wasn't my fault. It just fell apart. And so what I did was I took it out with the intention of repairing it and never did. And so I just left it on the floor, broken drawer, hole in the where the drawer used to go. And in the refrigerator, I had taken a lot of that, the dividers.
This keeps getting better.
Yeah, I mean, trying to be honest here. I had taken a lot of the dividers out because it's easier to get, say, a case of protein soda things in there, or like a whole bunch of meat or whatever. Yeah. There's more. It's easier to get big shit in your fridge if you take all those dividers out. And some of them were worse for wear. They were all fucked up. I had left one of them outside for like 3 months.
Did you remove them with a crowbar?
No, well, one of them was broken.
When you forget something outside for 3 months.
So one of the things that it attaches to the freezer door when you open the door, and you throw some Hot Pockets in there or something. Well, that thing had it slides out for cleaning, but then I had dropped it and it just broke in half. So I super glued it back together, but it was still so brittle that it could never store anything again. like there's no way. The idea of food would break it, especially as cold as it's brittle and cold in there.
Taylor, it's not that I'm a terrible renter from hell.
$1,500 deposit.
You know how it goes. You rip out the interior of your refrigerator and leave it outside for a couple of months.
Yeah, when you put something outside, when you put something outside in September, and then you stand up abruptly in December. Like, my God,
I
the
also
dog.
also on the back patio, it was just it needed a good pressure washing because I had fires back there and they had scorched the stone, and plastic that I had burned back there had melted to the stone.
What are you doing?
$1,500 deposit, right? At night, I go full white trash mode. Like, I like, what am I gonna do with these Amazon boxes? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. The same thing I do with all that plastic. I'm gonna melt it in the backyard.
I'm gonna melt it in the neighbor's yard.
Wait, that's white trash? I didn't know.
It's frowned upon.
It depends where you live. Like for you, you're an industrious countryman. For me, it's like that white trash neighbor of mine. We're in a fucking nice place. There's a housing what do you call those fucking house Nazis? Come check your mailbox.
Homeowners Association.
Yeah, this is a homeowners association. You can't be burning trash in your backyard. But 3 a.m, fucking inferno in my backyard every night.
You talking about like doing?
I got but the whole point of the story though, $1,500 deposit. I got it all back. Got it all back.
What?
I was shocked when I got the check. Kitty was like, "You got a check here for $1,500," and I'm like, "From fucking who? You're the renters." I was like, "There's no fucking way. It's a mistake. There's no way they give me all that money back."
Shit.
Like, oh, it's been gone. That's
the NPCs just didn't know any better. They did it out of habit.
And that you can
care.
bank on that sometimes.
But they don't give a fuck. Like,
sorry.
I rented a house, so I own a house and I rent it out to people, and I had it through a real estate agent, and they just don't give a fuck as long as the rent is like coming through. They won't even check the fucking house, man. They don't give a shit. They just want 20% of the whatever the fucking percentage is, like 8% of the money that you're getting, to just hassle the people to pay rent. That's all they fucking do. They suck. Like we had one person move out. It was a couple that were living there, and this dude was a builder. Like this guy's meant to be like a qualified builder that knows like how to build houses. And I went down to the house, and like as you said, the toilet roll holder was hanging off, was detached from the wall, and it was just sitting on the ground. Okay, the actual mount for it was still squarely attached to the wall. And I built this house. I know that thing was fucking in there. All right. The only thing you needed to reattach this toilet roll holder was a fucking Allen key, and this dude hadn't put it on. I'm like, so this guy's been living here for like 2 years without a toilet roll holder for sans fucking Allen key. I fear for people that live in houses.
He just didn't care though.
He doesn't want to bring his work home with him.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Was he married?
Was
he married or single though?
Fuck
no, he was married. Like this dude should have been harassed by his missus to put this shit back. Like,
yeah, it doesn't make sense. But if you're single, it's like, dude, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care.
Oh yeah.
Don't fucking
care.
I mean, I don't give a shit. Like my stuff falls off all the time, but I expect better from my renters.
I think I've gotten my deposit back every single time I've rented, but the place I lived in, St. Louis, like the city before I bought a house, it was like the last evening, like I'd packed everything up, and like they had a big to do because it had like it was like a studio kind of place with like 18, 20 foot, like absurdly tall ceilings. Like, and I was in an apartment. I didn't own a ladder. And they were like, big fees if you don't replace the light bulbs at the, like in the ceiling. That's like 20 feet up there. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not buying a ladder. And so I went to Home Depot and I bought one of those big old sticks that's got a suction cup on the end of it. And what you do is you take it and the suction cup part, you plug it in and snap to attach it to the stick, and then you extend the stick as needed, suction it to the light bulb, and then you unscrew it, and then you gently bring it back down. And I had a full day. I just wanted to like go to my new house that I just bought, and I was just like, I just have to get these fucking light bulbs changed, and then I can go. And so I went after work. I went way out of the way to go to Home Depot, bought this stupid fucking $35 device. And I go back to my apartment. I set the suction cup thing into the top. I extend it and go towards the first light bulb. I stick it. I pull it down. And the suction cup is stuck to the light bulb and has not come back down with the thing.
Stuck up there.
It's stuck up there. And so I just have a stick, and I'm trying to stick the stick back onto this thing and twist it. And I probably gave it 2 minutes, and I just did like that George from Seinfeld, like that. And I just I dropped it, And I left the stick there. The suction cup's probably still on the light, the empty light bulb in that apartment. And I was like, fuck it. If you charge me $50 for this, like, it's really $85, and you have a free light bulb changing stick if you can rectify this. Like,
when I was like 23, Jackie and I rented a townhouse, and it was just from two people. Like, there's just a husband and wife that owned the townhouse. And that was when we got puppies, two yellow labs. And, puppies pee. That's just a thing. So they peed on every carpet in that house. And we bought a steam cleaner, but it just didn't get it done. Like, I'm trying and we're training dogs. And we both work at this point, so the dogs are like crate training. And then we come home and there's always a mess. And we eventually, bought like baby gates for the kitchen, which had an linoleum floor, and we just washed it like crazy all the time. Anyway, the whole place smelled like urine. It smelled like urine bad. Every carpet and the pad under the carpet needed to be replaced. So we're moving out, and I have a steam cleaner, and I'm manually just vacuuming, steaming everything. Every window in this townhouse is open, and they do the walkthrough. So for like 4 minutes, we make the place not smell like urine. We get our full deposit back. And I know when they went to the place the next time, they were like, oh no, we made a grave error. We have
ma'am, what's your husband doing? Oh, they call him the Lysol man. He's just walking
It was just the place smelled like soap and cleaner and freshly vacuumed. And
like 4 candles in the entryway.
You have to hold a candle.
I love sandal and warm vanilla sugar and lemon.
Oh, urine! That's burning a urine.
When I moved into this,
sorry,
house,
I don't usually burn plastic at this hour.
When I moved into this house, it had carpet all through, and the carpet was like pretty old and shagged, and I was like, oh, I know I'm going to replace that. So we got our first puppy, and we were like, oh, just let him destroy the carpet. Who gives a fuck? So he would pee, and I started off like I would clean it up, and I'd be like, oh, we're gonna do that. Like, I'm gonna clean up his pee on the carpet, and then it got to the point where he was just like fucking the carpet so bad. I'm like, nah, that's it. I'm gonna put floorboards in. So instead of cleaning it, I get up in the morning and he would have like peed on the carpet. I just went around with a fucking box cutter and just cut squares out of the carpet and then just threw the carpet away. So like this was like, we are going to pull it up when I have time. But for a while there, we just had carpet in our house that just had like massive squares cut out of it. So I was like, I'm going to get rid of that eventually. And then it got to the point where I was like, okay, it's more just chipboard than carpet. So I'm gonna have to pull this up and put down new floors.
The modern problems require modern solutions.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get rid of it anyway. It's all fucked.
Kyle, last show you mentioned a couple times that you were moving, or that you were only staying for 11 months. I think it impacted your gym equipment or something. It came up. Do you know where you're going next?
No, I don't. No, I keep. I'm honestly waiting on the market to finally shit itself. Like I said, to buy anything. The long story short, I owned the last house I was in, and then I went through all my legal stuff, so I had to avoid any possibility of them going after that. So I just wanted that to get sold and liquidated out. And so I've been renting since then. Mostly, initially, it was because I didn't know how much time I was going to get. And again, let's not buy a house if we're about to do 4 years, which was like I told my parents at one point, like, it's going to be a year to 3 years. Like, I think it's going to be a year to 3, because I was told that.
Thank God it wasn't.
I had that on my shoulders or whatever for at least a month and a half, where I believed that was the case, and I didn't tell anybody.
That's awful.
It was like a private conversation, me and the lawyer. I didn't tell anybody that. So that was rough. But I told my parents, like, when it was getting close to it. Anyway. So I didn't purchase then. And then, like, nowadays, it's like, fuck, is the market just about to go 08 again? Are you about to get in one of those $1 million houses for half price or something? Are you about to get, if I wait until I load up a bunch of debt and hang on to my cash, could I buy 3 or 4 houses like I should have done last time? Like, I don't know. So,
yeah.
So I'm in a wait and watch kind of mode as far as the real estate market is truly. I do have thoughts about moving states, because as much as I do like our weed sponsor shit, it is legitimately just fucking strong. It would be nice to like be able to smoke real weed as well, and all that stuff. So like, I've thought about Colorado, Missouri, Florida.
Yeah, Missouri.
Yeah, you're on the short list these days.
Yeah.
As you know, for all the factors that come into like buying a house and moving to a place. So that's kind of been on my mind for a while. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going to go after this place. Whenever the lease runs out, it runs out. But I won't stay here as in this place because I'm annoyed with a bunch of shit here. It's silly stuff.
Yeah.
But so I'll either rent somewhere else and keep waiting on the market, because I legitimately feel like not waiting could be a real bad mistake. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems like it should have shit the bed already. It seems like it's being propped up. I don't know. And I don't know anything about anything. It's just,
I don't know how any of that shit works.
All those hallmarks are there from the last time. It just seems like it could happen. And it also seems like just a bad time to borrow money as well.
The only people who claim to really know what the market's going to do, whether it be real estate or stocks, are stupid people in their 20s. Like that, those are the people who are pretty confident that they can predict the market.
And Paul Krugman.
Oh, he's a stupid person in his 50s.
Yeah.
Whatever. I feel pretty safe in saying what I just said, because every time I say it around people who are smarter than me and people who knew more about industry surrounding the housing market, like I'll just say that, like they're always like, yeah, I think so too. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, he knows. I feel like I just like said something about a nuclear reactor, and Neil deGrasse Tyson was like, that's right. Yes. I'm like, see,
that's right.
So now I've just checked that off as fact. But yeah, I'm hoping something happens with that. But I don't really mind renting. Renting is so cheap in Atlanta, and there was
it'd be that cheap there with how big it is, how many people. It
depends. Like, I don't know. It depends what kind of house you want and where you want to be. I really like where I am right now, and I've got 3 or 4 bedrooms. I really like this place, and it's not terrible.
Could you stay there?
The property
I don't want to stay here. I don't like the property management that I'm dealing with, and there's some like little things around the house that like irk me, that I don't want to be here for a whole nother year or anything like that. It's like I don't like those hinges, little stuff like that.
And you're not going to replace them.
You should rent if that's the really. I'm out of this place. The doorknobs are bullshit.
No, it's a million things like that. Is what I mean. like the market, the rental market was absurd when I was looking for a place. When my last lease was running out, I was running out of time. It was I don't know how much. I think I spent $800 in putting in requests on places, and because they're like $50 a piece. And I put in.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, you have to put in You have to pay to put in these applications for these places. It's a racket. It's a fucking racket, dude. And it took forever to find a place that just had the basic shit that I need. Like a backyard and high-speed internet and an extra bedroom for an office and a gym-sized garage and stuff. But anyway, that's all. I think that's boring stuff. But yeah, that's the deal with that. Okay. But I won't be. But I do like the idea of Missouri now. Might do that for real. Cool I would consider Missouri. Go down to down to the Ozarks. I bet there's some hill folks that would remind me of home.
Oh, yes, yeah. They're the Ozark people are the native like local Ozark people are quite a flavorful bunch. When I
hear banjos, I feel at home.
You will hear banjos in the Ozarks.
I love getting ahead of my own schedule to where like I'll be like, oh, that'll probably take 90 minutes or so. And then I'll finish something in like 30 minutes. And I'll be like, oh, what do I do with all this extra time? I'm like, well, maybe I just forge right ahead to the next activity. I'll truncate the entire day. Or like, I don't know. It makes me, Kyle, do you do that at all? Do you make lists in that kind of structure for your days and whatnot? Or that doesn't even cross your mind?
If I have something to do, tomorrow I've got stuff to do. I got a lot of stuff to do. 2 trees fell down with the storms that came through. So my dad's bringing a truck and trailer over here and a chainsaw, and so I've got to chop all those trees up, throw those in the dumpster. I've got to pressure wash the outside of the house. I've got to cut the grass. and I've got to box a bunch of stuff and move a bunch of furniture because I'm getting new flooring put in on the upstairs. So like tomorrow is one hell of a fucking busy day. So I'm going to take myself an Adderall when I wake up and make a list. What helps me about the list isn't so much as scheduling the structure. That's not what it's about. It's about putting my thoughts to paper and making them real, putting them in the physical world. I feel like that's beneficial, but also very satisfying to check things off that list.
I love check marks.
You draw if you're angry, you hold that pencil like a goddamn caveman. Fuck you. Whatever, pressure washing the windows.
Chopping, right.
Tree. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy that. Chainsaw work.
Dude,
like
pressure washing, the chainsaw work. As you're going through your list, I'm like, those are things that Healthy Woody would really enjoy. But then you got to moving furniture, and I was like, you can keep that one.
I enjoy moving furniture
because
I'm pretty good at it. Like I've got a really large dresser over here. It's
a nice armoire.
Yeah. No, it's four drawers, and there's two rows of them, so 8 total drawers, and it's what I've got my television on, and it's incredibly heavy. Not quite as heavy as my television, which will definitely require help, but like because I live here with Kitty, a feeble woman, everything that's heavy has to be a one-man operation every single time. So like I've learned to do this stuff on my own. So like a dresser, I know. All right, get everything out of the drawers and then flip that motherfucker upside down on its top. The top's smooth. That slides on carpet like butter. I can move this like 300-pound dresser by like as quickly as I can run. Like I just start pushing it, sliding on the carpet, and it's across the house in just a minute. And like.
It's funny being the only strong person around. Not that I'm tremendously strong, but I'm more than twice as strong as Jackie. Yeah. So, like, if something weighs 75 pounds, we might both carry it. If something weighs 100 pounds, she might get the other side. But if it were to weigh, like, 125 or 150 pounds, it's like, well, can you move over? I'm trying to get this. She can't do that side. So then it becomes a one-man job.
Yeah, I've been conscripted into helping a few people move already this summer, or I guess over the summer, since summer's kind of winding down, and I don't mind that much. I just really, really hate it when I go into someone's place. Like it was like I guess a month ago now that I was going to a friend's place who had a pool, and we were like, oh, we'll go swimming, and he's like, well, my friend who lives across the way needs some help moving real quick. Do you mind? And I'm like, no, like whatever, that's okay. And so I walk over there, and I'm expecting it to be some furniture and a bunch of boxes packed up, and it's just like loose shit sitting around. And it's like, oh my god, if you're gonna ask for help, have it together, have it ready. And so it was like, yeah, exactly, Chiz. That's not moving. You're in the packing stage. Like when my movers show up, I make sure everything's in a box. Or if I do have people over, I'm not telling them, yeah, and grab that like loose TV that's not in a box and carry that down, and then pick up my magic card collection. Like no, like all I ended up doing was just helping him with big furniture. Because I was just like, no, I'm not gonna help you pack.
I have three requirements. Three requirements. If you're going to be moved, this is how you do it. 1, like Taylor said, have your shit packed. 2, when you load it into the truck, either know what the fuck you're doing or step aside. And here's the hint, big stuff first. If you take all the boxes, put them into the back of the truck, and think you're a fucking Tetris master when dealing with all of these 1x1 cubes, you're not. If you want to be a Tetris master, put the table in there, the couch in there, and then fill in all the boxes around it. You'll get a much denser packing. Yeah. So that's 2. The third one is, on the unloading phase, direct us to where you want things. Don't just shrug your shoulders and not know. It's for both of us. Say, upstairs, second bedroom. People will go there. Your unpacking will be 100 times easier, and the unloading is 100 times easier. If you're a girl who can only carry lampshades, that's your job. Direct traffic. You're so much more useful than picking up lampshades.
And at the same time, don't start reorganizing shit while we're still moving in. When me and my buddy are carrying your couch, and he goes, put it there, and we put it somewhere, and he's like, actually, no, turn it this way. It's like, na-da-ta-ta-ta. It's here. This is your fucking problem. You can put it wherever you want.
Let me ask you this.
All your shit in the living room and just putting it in a pile in the middle, and then you deal with it. That's what I would do.
No. See, I'm not there. I don't want a big pile in the living room. No.
Tell me which room it goes in.
No, of living room stuff. I mean, like when they say this is in the living room, it's like it gets to the living room, and then I'm not doing the fucking feng shui water garden thing for you.
I agree.
Let me ask you this: what do you think a proper reimbursement is if you're going to help a somewhat like a work friend move his entire house? And we're talking about taking all his shit, putting it in a U-Haul, following the U-Haul 20 minutes across town, unloading it and putting it into the house. There are 3 total trips. He has heavy oaken furniture. By the end of the day, this is a coworker. By the end of the day, you have blisters. What compensation would you expect?
I'm pretty cheap, but here's what I'd want. Probably 2 meals, and they can't be pizza, and all the water I can drink.
I mean, that's a really reasonable request. I think I would want, yeah, you're right, 1 or 2 good meals, and then, because you work with them, like a monetary thing doesn't make any sense, and you wouldn't want that anyway, I don't think, but I would want the understood knowledge between us that when I called in a favor that was moving or that was inconvenient or that took a whole
360
Saturday,
reviews in the office.
Yeah, that it would absolutely be like, okay, I'm there for you. That sounds shitty and it's going to take all Saturday, but I remember you did that for me. So
I got
really, it's more than the dinners. It's that favor that I would want, like when I'm in a pinch.
Woody, do you have any auto shades in your house? Auto blinds?
Nothing like that. It'd be cool though. We looked into it. They're stupid expensive. I wanted
protection or for light blocking.
Both.
Or both.
We needed custom curtains, and it was like, ooh, what if we motorize them? Curtains are dumb expensive. Like you can spend thousands doing a room and then double it to make them remote controlled. And I was like, yeah. We had just bought this house and everything, and just. You need so much furniture and so many curtains that I didn't want to pour money into it.
What is
I could see if. Okay, so in my house, I have really tall ceilings in the living room. It's kind of odd, and there are these 2 windows really high up that the sun comes right through all day, and it ruins the TV. Basically, you can't watch television in that room. But if I could click a button and have like a blind just go down and completely black them out, because there's no way to get up there.
Is it a window or a skylight?
It's 2 big windows up there, sort of parallel with the ones on the ground floor. There's just 2 more up there. So I'm going to get some auto blinds, and I'm the only question is if I mount them myself, because I got a new ladder today. I got this like little giant ladder. It'll do.
I've got a little giant right there, right behind this desk.
Which one does it go crazy tall?
It gets pretty tall. It's got those orange clips on the side that you like pull it up and then you snap all 4 of them down. And
it starts as an A-frame, but it'll go straight, right?
Yeah, it gets pretty big.
So that thing's in my living room right now, and I had to stop short playing with it before the show because we were starting. But I was I had straightened it out, and I had extended one side all the way, and I still had the entire other side to extend, and it was almost up there where it needs to go. I think, but it looks rickety, dude.
Just extend the other side, man. Don't climb it at a weird angle.
No, I mean, I'm going to like put it the way it's supposed to do, but when it's completely extended, it looks kind of rickety. I don't know.
Bend in the middle a little.
Like,
does it have to be totally extended
we're going
for you to get there?
I'm going up there tonight. It's gonna be fun.
How tall are your ceilings?
All the way.
They're at the top of the.
My living room is like 20 feet or something.
His ceilings are at the very top of the room.
Damn, that's fancy.
However tall that ladder goes, I'm not positive it's going to be tall enough. They're that tall. Like how tall does that ladder
18-foot ceiling.
Probably.
Don't be reaching up there, man. That's how you fall.
You're in a ranch style house like
I think it's 25
ranch style
feet.
Houses have those big.
Like when I had the repairman standing there, and I was sitting on the couch watching him work on the fucking internet for 2 hours Tuesday. And I was like, yeah, like 4 of him would go up that wall easy. They're really tall. I'm going to if I can find a discreet way to put a climbing rope in there, I'm going to hustle up 25 feet.
There's absolutely no way to install a discreet climbing rope in your living room.
That's an oxymoron.
Here's how you do it. Here's how you do it, Taylor. I have to build climbing pegs to from the top of the staircase. I have to be able to monkey bar my way out there with
discreet.
handhold sized pegs that I grab, and I monkey bar myself out there with the rope over my shoulder. And then when I get there, I one arm pull myself up.
You can probably leave those and get your deposit back.
And then I slide down like a fucking. I took down the one of my. I need to check see about my deposit in the last place because I I had the sex swing mounted directly to the ceiling.
Did you putty it?
Dude, there was no time for I was so beat from all that shit. I was like, putty be damned. Y'all figured, I figured charge me a couple $100 for putty. I'm done. I was sweaty. I was done. It was getting dark, and I had a drive ahead of me, so I left.
I did the same thing with the last apartment I bought before I bought a house like 4 years ago. Is I had a dartboard up on one wall, and I don't know what it was that like I assumed because I could throw darts and hit the board every time that other people could too, but there were just hundreds of holes of darts in my wall. And I remember like I puttied like the top couple dozen and then was like, I don't care. And then just left. And then when they were talking about like the if I recall correctly, when they were talking about like not giving me my deposit back, I just talked about all the times I called them about black mold, and that was never handled or discussed, and they just gave it back to me. Nothing happened.
They were like, okay, never mind, you win.
They were like, oh, is this the black mold guy who hasn't been able to use his back door because it's broken for 2 years? Okay, give him his money back because he's called half a dozen times about black mold and his rear door not working and being worried about having to walk out his front door into the most dangerous city in America to round the building and then walk through a dark alley in the most dangerous city in America and then go through the fucking lot.
Is it the most dangerous city in America, literally?
It is. It's a point of shame for St. Louisans.
Is that what you guys call yourselves?
I think that's what it is called. St. Louisans?
You should be called the St. Louis.
Ooh, I like that's better. I like that better.
Louis better.
City in America.
St. Louis.
I'm a St. Louis.
I'm a St. Louis.
I'm a St.
Well,
Louis.
there are a ton of Italians around here, so that would make sense. Yeah.
I'm a St. Louis.
They got ran out of Chicago. They got ran out of Chicago. They went over to St. Louis.
Yeah. they fled Chicago and then Guidoed up St. Louis.
They were forced out by the goblins.
We was forced out by predatory loaning practices. How are we supposed to calculate the exponentials and the
interest and use?
I stand by Harry Potter.
Right? I have a source here that says St. Louis is the second most dangerous city in America.
Can I guess the most?
Yes.
I bet you'll get it right, but yes.
Is it Gary?
Well, you got to go for Detroit.
Yes.
Is it? It's Gary?
Detroit.
No, it's Detroit, according to this thing.
Fucking
Where's
losers.
New Orleans? Please tell me New Orleans isn't on
We're
that
winning
list.
again?
Memphis is third, then Baltimore is fourth. Springfield, Missouri. You guys got a couple cities on there.
Missouri all up on that list.
Oh, it's weird calculating that though,
bigoted.
because per capita, like, do you count one of these wild spree shootings in like Uvalde where so many people die in a year? Like it's there can be some aberrations, but that doesn't seem to be happening on that chart. It's literally the most dangerous city.
They're using violent crime per
what you mean.
100,000. That's their thing.
Okay.
Violent crime. Okay, so I see what you mean. Then an outlier could be like a mass murder.
Yeah, some crazy.
That could suddenly shoot one way up the list.
There could be a city with 5 people in it. One gets murdered. Now 20% of the population.
20% of the population dies
got murdered in 1
every year.
Where is this good list that has St. Louis at 2? All the ones I'm finding still have us at 1, and that's obviously fake fucking news.
Not a huge improvement
because we are not the most dangerous city. It's that shithole Detroit.
He's happy to get that
one
one.
to number 2 is not that big of a
deal. Gotta be embarrassing to live in Detroit. That fucking shithole.
Man, 30 seconds ago it was him.
Do you really want to insult people from Detroit?
Mine's the
murderers.
News one.
They're murderers.
I don't care.
All I know about Detroit is I guess the area code is 313. That's all I know.
You know what the funniest thing I've ever heard about?
We'll probably encounter another murderer on the way here.
Those people who get their porches stolen.
Wait,
your whole porch?
A porch? Or
Zach,
porch
will you pull up a news article about like Detroit porch stolen? Grab me that.
You gotta be shitting me.
Yeah, I guess like maybe.
Why would you want to
just
steal a porch?
Is nothing sacred?
Maybe I just fell victim to an internet hoax or something, or some silly joke. But it seemed to me that folks were riding up and yoinking people's porches.
Didn't have bed money.
Dating on hard mode is such an unappreciated skill. I'll never forget that guy that I knew when I was working in Atlanta when I was 19. He must have been 23 or so, and I've told the story before, so I'll be quick about it. But like, he had moved from Pennsylvania down to Atlanta following his buddy because there's a group of 3 friends, and one of the friends was chasing the girl. So all 3 of these male friends moved down to like be the 3 amigos. And this guy couldn't afford to ship all of his belongings down. He could afford the plane ticket. He could afford first month's rent. Then he needed to get a job. And then eventually he'd pay to have his stuff in storage in Pennsylvania shipped down to him and fill his apartment out. Well, he didn't really take to selling cars. And so he didn't sell any for a while. So the storage place sold his belongings to whoever.
Yeah.
They auctioned off his belongings like one of those Discovery Channel shows, just all of his shit. And I mean all of his shit. So I went over there one night to hang out with the three of them. We're drinking beers, hanging out on the balcony and shooting firecrackers. We're all like, I think I'm 19 and they're like early 20s, 21, 22. And at one point I went back and because Travis was like, have you seen dude's bedroom? And I'm like, no, why? He's like, come here, let me show you something. And I go in there and he has an air mattress with a sleeping bag. And those are his only possessions. And I'm not exaggerating. Wow. His only possessions are an air mattress, and it's flat, dude. It's flat as a flitter, as my grandma would say. It is all the air has gone out of this fucking thing, and then there's a sleeping bag on it. And I swear to God, he got pussy on that thing one night.
Dude, I can top that.
He brought a girl back and fucked her on it.
I was married, and Jackie was pregnant.
That's why it was flat.
And I got her. We didn't have box springs. We just had mattresses on the floor of our bedroom because I didn't start off wealthy. And so Christmas rolls around, and I'm like, I'm getting this woman mattresses because she's pregnant. It's getting harder and harder to get out of bed. And she thought that was a bad Christmas present. She just doesn't understand utility.
You got her a second.
Did you get her a card?
A box spring. A box spring.
It's a Sealy.
Honestly, Woody, that's in great material. You got something you needed, and she should have appreciated it. I hope she apologized profusely.
I'll bring it up and see.
You should bring it up. See what she says.
Woody, your wife was pregnant, and all you had was a mattress on the floor?
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's like Oliver Twist. What century was it where you were living this poor? That's terrible.
1995, maybe? No, we were married in 96, so maybe like 99, 98.
Yeah, those are hard years. Those are hard years for the economy.
How many box mattresses do you have now?
I don't know. All we need.
More than you can count.
He's flush with them.
Go ahead and brag, Woody. Tell us how many Christmas trees you have. Tell us how many trees you have.
I don't know what this year will bring. We're trying to tone it down. Last year we must. What did I have? 5 Christmas trees, something like that.
You did. You were upset about it, and it made me laugh.
Man's got a half dozen Christmas trees, each more grand than the last.
If you got your wife like a box spring part, would that be like sentimental for her?
Yeah,
Would she be like, oh, Woody?
Yeah, right.
This is all I ever wanted. Happy anniversary, honey.
Your Christmas situation reminds me. I don't remember what
made of gold.
I don't remember what show or like maybe a comedian or something said it, but someone was like, dude, can you imagine how much fun moving would be if you're a chick? You just get to like play Sim City House and just tell people to move things where you want. Like, it would be the best situation ever. You carry a handful of throw pillows and you go, oh, that 1,300-pound couch that every time you pick it up, it reclines on its own and it pinches your hands. I actually want it downstairs. No, I want it upstairs again, actually. And it's like, you fucking bitch. Why have you done this? I can't believe you've done this.
I got movers that last time, and I actually felt like bad telling them where to put things. Like, I felt like, I mean, they're getting paid. I'm paying these people. And and pretty well, and I'm tipping them on top of that. But I'm like, hey, that king size mattress that's impossible to hold. Yeah, that one. I need that one to go up the narrow staircase that doubles back on itself.
And I need it now.
And I need to do it now, so that because I've already put the box springs together, and I need to put it all together because it's taking up the space. Could you hustle that on up there? And he's like, Mark, the guy says we got to do the mattress right now. I'm like, well. Yeah, I do actually. Yeah. And, when I got the cable put in, it was the same thing. He put it in the wrong spot before I could tell him the right spot because I was out running other errands to move into this place. And I was like, hey, that doesn't go there. And he's like, finishing up. And I'm like, he's like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, that goes upstairs because I need to direct connect upstairs in my office. And he's like, oh, like audibly, like so upset. And then he just turns his back to me and goes, zzz, like starts undoing all of his work, and I felt like such a piece of shit. But it's like, oh, that's where it goes.
In lieu of payment, I ordered you guys 1 medium pizza. Just do something like that.
I always like get those guys. Like I ask if they can have beer because I don't care if they drink and drive once they get their shit to my place. You know what I mean? So
it's neither here nor there. It's not your problem.
I'll usually get them beer and pizzas and then tip them because it's hard work. I've had it done twice and I've done it by myself 3 or 4 fucking times because I'm not a pretty girl, dude. I've moved by myself so many times. Those king mattresses, like, oh my god, it's such awful, dreary work.
It makes the if you have like a big foam king mattress, it like makes the tips of your fingers hurt because you have to grip so super hard to keep a purchase on the mattress.
I learned after a while, you go on Amazon, you get these mattress bags that like it's like a big sandwich bag for your mattress that has handles on the sides. And you can even vacuum seal your big foam mattress to make it really easy to handle again. It's just so much easier. Or you could pay 2 guys $300 and they'll handle it for you.
I moved a lot when I was young because I always applied for jobs. And anytime someone offered me more, I just left. Like, 32 grand? These guys are paying me 30. I'm being robbed. Fucking out of here. That's what I do. I moved to another state, get a new place. And
to another state?
Yeah, exactly. I moved back and forth from Jersey to Pennsylvania 4 times. And so I would just like, oh, look at this. Here's an end table with glass doors that open up. That's just not the kind of thing I should own. I move every 6 to 9 months. That's how I lived.
So you were just IKEA super efficient kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted barbells or like weights and stuff, but it's like, dude, if you move every 6 months, home gym's not for you.
That'd be a nightmare. That's a period in your life for calisthenics. Not
yeah, exactly. Get yourself a pull-up bar.
Yeah, for sure.
I miss that feeling. I remember moving all the time. Like, all right, it's been about 9 months. Time to start looking. I miss the feeling of having nothing. That because I knew I was going to move and soon. Now,
are you ever going to leave Cali?
Now I feel like I live in like a mausoleum, like a Egyptian pyramid. I've got so much shit in here.
You do. Your place is very chintzy. A lot of stuff in that room, I imagine.
Every room is like this. Stuff all over the wall, like a TGI Friday.
Can you see yourself like moving to a different state, or are you because of family probably?
No, every time
in LA or Mexico, right?
I'm either moving. I might get deported, Taylor.
Oh no!
See, and I'll be happy to do it if it happens. Every time I leave California, I just think, God, everybody here's so fucking fat. I could never live
in California.
No, everybody outside of California is too fat for me to be around.
Oh, yeah. Whenever I go to California, it's a ego check for me. Like, oh my God, I walk around Raleigh thinking I look okay, and then I go to Hollywood and I'm a dump.
I don't need to walk around pretty people. I know what the score is. Like it's fine. The pretty people can stay over there. I'll be an okay looking guy in the Midwest.
I finally got all of my shit moved today. It has been
finally.
So I procrastinated and I moved my entire house in 2 days by myself with no help, and it might be the greatest achievement that I have ever done. I moved tens of thousands of pounds of shit in the last 2 days. Like
proud of you.
That entire gym. I couldn't have done this before I started on TRT and started pumping iron. Old Kyle would have died yesterday. By yourself? I moved the whole gym.
Yeah, he moved his whole gym.
Oh my God.
1,500 pounds of steel alone, like just weight plates. 1,500 pounds of weight plates, an entire like power tech like trainer machine, an entire like squat rack, barbells, and then my whole goddamn house, right? Like multiple bedrooms, couches. You ever moved an 85-inch fucking TV by yourself?
I don't know how you could do
trying to do that. Actually, I literally
like a man
my spine doing that in college and had to have surgery. It was fucked up.
Damn.
Yeah, one of those big old cabinet TVs with like wood grain. Like,
that weighed 3,000 pounds. Yeah,
the pre-flat screen era.
Later, I'm gonna pick up this TV that's to my left, and I'm gonna stand on some scales with it because it's so heavy that it hurts my fingers to hold it. Like.
Is it like an old boob tube CRT TV?
It's a 1080p flat screen that's 72 inches, so it's about this thick. It's not, now they're like fucking they're like a piece of cardboard thick.
Yeah, and
this
they
one
cost
is more like
dude, just go buy a new
Yeah,
a new
buy a new
TV is like $180 right now. Those TVs are literally not worth the materials
It's
they're made of
the
anymore.
only thing
hear me
that's
out.
priced reasonably right now.
First of all,
only
you're 100% right. TVs have shockingly continued to like drop in value. But the thing is, I bought this TV for $6,000 8 years ago. There's nothing wrong with it. And it is not my primary TV. I'm going to hang it on the wall of my office and like have like CNN playing in the background on it. You know, like it's not a primary TV. It's not even my bedroom TV. It's my fourth TV. But I can't.
It's just not.
bring myself.
Can't get rid of it.
I
Yeah,
can't
you need
throw
that
it
price
away.
value. Yeah.
I paid $6,000 for it.
Yeah.
That is a wild total for a TV.
Dude, my parents have a vacation house that we built in 2002. We finished in South Carolina. And one of the things they got, it's a nice house. It's not totally extravagant, but it's nice. But one of the things they got was the very first plasma. It was NEC, like the computer monitor company made it. It wasn't even made by like Sony. It was NEC, and it was the 60-inch plasma. It was $22,000.
I can tell the same story, dude.
Jesus Christ!
My parents have a house. It's in Celebration, right? If people don't know Celebration, it's a nice.
What's the name of a place?
Yeah, Disney World made a subdivision, and it is Celebration.
Yeah.
And the house isn't like super extravagant or anything, but it's like for what it is, it's done nice. Like it's a nice example of a small home, and they got one of the first plasmas. I forget if it was 52 or 55 inches, but plasmas were unheard of at this point. And they mounted it on the wall, not even in the wall, but on it, and put like crown molding around it. And the whole room kind of did up. It was $25,000 for this 52-inch television. And it seemed worth it. Like a neighbor walked in, and this is what he said. He saw it, and he goes, "Oh, I am
erect.
I have a new life goal," is what he said. Yeah. I mean, it was stunning to see it at the first time.
Yeah.
Now it's commonplace.
The government commandeered all of them. The 60-inch, it was Iraq war, and they commandeered them and shipped them to Iraq for the war rooms. And so we got a loaner TV. They gave us a 50 for like a year until they could catch up.
2003?
2002, 3, like whatever. It was the beginning of Iraq war, whatever it was, 2003, I guess. And we got a loaner TV for like a year, and then they finally sent us the 60. And it just made me think about like what happened to those hundreds of TVs later. Like, were people just like going home with their camo and their duffel bag?
Yeah, absolutely, they were. They do
probably
with stuff like that. The Army doesn't give a fuck. I remember I knew somebody who was importing Barrett 50 cows that had been used in Afghanistan, and they were shot to shit. They were like had been desert used, and they all had desert camo, and they were selling them by the shipping container full.
Oh my!
Like 10,000 Barretts at a time or something, like some absurd amount. And they were like, they're like, yeah, almost none of them work, but you'll have enough parts to build yourself 5 or 6 for every 8 or 10 you get. And we were seriously looking at buying like a pile of Barretts at one point because it might be a good business idea.
A pile of them.
So I could definitely
not even specific unit numbers.
You know, I didn't know that. So the first one I think I saw like a nice plasma screen was probably 2003. It was 2003. I had no idea they were that expensive though. I just thought, wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
like it was at a prom party, and I don't want to say exactly too much about the man who owned the house, but he had done some illegal things in his past, maybe, and had tons and tons of money, and I was like, oh, so that okay, they weren't kidding. $20,000 for that TV though. I didn't know that.
It was 20. And actually, in fairness, it was made really well. My parents had that TV on the wall until probably 2 years ago. Like it was like it lasted a long fucking time, and it was like fine actually for a really long time.
Well, we're like plasmas were the ones where it's like, oh, I watched a show with too much green palette in it for too long. Now there's I watched The Simpsons for too long. Now there's a lot of yellow spaces all over the background.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So, do you guys remember those fabric screen TVs?
Oh
yes.
yeah.
I
Where you
remember
got
my
mad and
grandparents-
threw something at it, it would go right through that shit.
Yeah. So I thought getting high while moving would help. Just like tolerate how awful it was, because like I don't know, it's been a
I'd be
while
worried it
since
would make me unmotivated. Like I'd be like, ugh, now I'm feeling like tired.
No, if anything, it's like we gotta go. I kept looking at everything to do and being like, you're not even fucking out loud. You're not even fucking close to being close, you bitch boy. I was like I would take these I would overheat, and so I was shirtless the whole time, wearing a cowboy hat and sunglasses, like doing this shit because the sun's beating down on me. It's
Looking
100 degrees.
very cool. Yeah.
I look pretty fucking sick. I'm gonna be honest. I look at myself in the mirror. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I was overhead.
You were feeling yourself.
I was overhead pressing a TV at the time, and it was a good look. But I'm drenched in sweat, and anyway, I got a little hard, and but I think that's just all the blue chew.
Yeah, there's all the blue chew.
I had the worst time I've ever had.
Can I interrupt you,
moving
Kyle?
Yeah, please do.
Where is it? Oh, so I said. Kyle said he's moving, and I'm like, I'm in the gym hitting PRs. I was really excited because and he replies, "You don't know what a workout is until you muscled a king size Casper mattress down a hill into a U-Haul."
That's harder than any bench press. Oh yeah.
You know what I did today? I
moved.
I grabbed that thing like a goddamn ant, put it on my back, and took it up the steepest flight of stairs you've ever seen, and then a hairpin turn, and then set it up. I did that before we started the show.
You're all set up for after show, right? Your TV's not set up though.
Everything but the TV. I've drilled the thing in. I'm gonna hang it as soon as the show's over. I can hang it by myself now. Like I just underestimated how strong I am, if I'm being honest. Like when I first hung
you can
the
hang
TV,
it by yourself.
Yeah,
I thought you had to have someone back there to like screw it in for you.
So it's the way my thing works. The TV has a bracket with hooks like this. I'm trying to like do fingers. And those just like hook into the other bracket, and then when you let the TV go, the bottom bracket bumps into the part on the wall, and then put a couple bolts in here and here, and it's all locked in, and then you can articulate.
Like oh
yeah,
mine's like all screwed.
Very easy to hang. Yeah, you got the base.
Yeah, he has a base on the wall, and then the other part hooks into the base, and the rotation and the gravity holds it in.
Yeah.
Huh.
How
well, that would have
you
been
can't
easier.
screw behind the TV? I'm curious if you did it wrong.
No, like I had to have
okay.
a guy come over because and I had it was one of those brackets that you obviously mount to the studs, and then it has like those two bars. And I bought it from Samsung because I'm like, I do not want a fucking one that's not going to work. So I got one that was like not from Samsung, but like Samsung recommended. And that's what it was. It takes because there are 6 screw holes in the back of the TV, and they all line up with it. And so you needed to like bolt them all in. So I had to hold it up while this fucker was like back there.
The ones I've seen, half of it goes on the wall, half of it goes on the TV. Then you put them together. So that put it on a TV stage you're talking about happens on the comfort of your bed while you attach it.
Oh, okay. No, I don't even have a TV in my bedroom. I'd never watch TV as I'm going to bed. Like, it would just keep me up longer. Like when I go in the bedroom, that has to be my time to sleep. Otherwise, I would just fiddle around. And just be watching shit.
I've always had one. In the bedroom. Obviously, when I was a kid, did you guys have TVs in your bedrooms as kids?
I did.
As like an older kid, yeah.
It depends. As a young kid, I did, and then when we moved to Ocean City, I lost it.
I got like a big glass screen TV when I was like 15, I think.
My entire childhood, I had a TV. As long as I had a room, like maybe second grade, I had a TV. Like it wasn't a cool TV. It was pretty small. It was like one of those TV VCR combos. And then that I got better TVs as the years went on. But I've always had one in the bedroom. It's a new bedroom though. I haven't decided. I kind of want to take this enormous heavy motherfucker, like I was telling Matt, stick it on the wall over there. So I've got lots of screens like Fahrenheit 420 or whatever. Not Fahrenheit 420. That's a different book. 451. and that would require a new TV or a projector. I'm real big on the idea of a whole fucking projector system in the bedroom.